Hey y'all, just want to quickly go over today's daily Bible verse, which is Philippians chapter 4, verse 6, which says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known to God." What does it mean to be anxious? It means to worry. Paul tells us not to be anxious, but to instead entrust in the Lord, whose peace will protect us in those times of anxiousness. I'll give a little bit of my story here. Coming up on a few years ago, I dealt with depression. I was questioning a lot of things, questioning if I had a purpose, a meaning, if I was always going to be alone. I was questioning these things. I felt a loneliness within me. It was the weekend of March 20th, 2022, that I was at Ridgecrest Youth Conference with my youth group in Pigeon Forge during the last session. At the time, I had been seeking that God would do something because I was this close to just ending it all. I had prayed the night before that God would do something. During worship, it was the third song, "Oh Praise His Name." Now, I had been praising God through all my depression because I'd still seen Him do miracles in my life. With healing my mom from stage 4 melanoma when I was 8, I've truly seen Him do great things in my life. But I questioned if I had purpose, if I had meaning. During that session, as I was praising the Lord, I had one hand held up in praise, and as I went to lift up my other, we had been in the middle of the auditorium. We usually sit close to the front, and that was the first time we had really sat in the middle. You couldn't feel any bit of wind. It was a windy day, but you couldn't feel any bit of wind right there in the middle. But as I went to lift up my other hand in praise, I felt a gust of wind surround me, and a voice speak to me, saying, "Don't worry, my child. Everything is going to be okay." In that moment, the Lord spoke to me, filled me with His peace. Everything was going to be okay. Truth be told, when you are a child of God, when your identity is in Christ, you are complete with Him. You may think, is God ever going to give me a person? Am I always going to be alone? You're never alone. Because when you have God, you're never alone. He fills that void with His love. And at one point, I thought I was going to kill myself because I thought I'm always going to be alone. But you are not always going to be alone. Because when you have God, He gives you peace. When you're pursuing His kingdom calling upon your life, He fills you with His peace. Trust in the Lord, whose peace surpasses all understanding, as it says in verse 7, which follows. And if you're dealing with worry, a famous preacher put it this way: the more you worry, the less you pray. The more you pray, the less you will worry. If you're worried about your future, pray. Cast your worries onto the Lord, because He'll take care of you. Seek first the kingdom and His treasures, and everything else will be added. Trust in the Lord. Trust in His plan. Trust the Lord. Trust Him. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope this video helped. God bless.